Hey everybody, this is Ascendant Thundertoss, and we are going to be casting the New England StarCraft II League Invitational, and this is going to be our round 1 match. So waiting for our game to load. It is going to be on Xel'Naga Caverns, and we can get around to the introductions.
PVZ or PVT.
I would have accepted a PVZ, but unfortunately that's not what we're going to get. So spawning here in the top right, we have our yellow Protoss. His name is
ONEwbc.
Yep, recently joining the Team 1. Pretty happy for him because he is a really good player. His opponent for this first round, spawning in the bottom left, his name is
cLSAdj.
Adj, a pretty good Terran, playing a lot of Zeke tournaments. This is, at least the tournament brackets are hosted on Zeke. I don't know if the entire thing is sponsored by Zeke or not. I guess
It's sponsored by the New England NESC2L League.
There you go. So already we have Adj going for a wall off at the front. Maybe gonna hide a little bit of tech here, otherwise maybe he just feels safe doing that versus every race.
Yeah, normally we don't see people wall off against Protoss, but lately I think that maybe become the norm after players start adopting that, Slayer's Alicia, more aggressive style 3-gate expand and stuff, pressuring with those Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries early on. Punishing Terran for going for too quick a command center or too quickly of a tech route.
Looks like he's building the barracks further back. So if nothing else, the supply depot will let you get a bunker at the front and completely wall off. Especially in case there's like some kind of DT rush. You're safe against that.
Yep.
Just have that
also, actually something to do with positioning perhaps. On the bottom side, obviously your tech lab is much closer to the edge. Whereas at the top position, you can actually hide it a little bit, meaning that the ramps and the stalkers will have to actually come up the ramp to snipe your tech lab. And I've seen that happen. If people do it on the bottom position, they get their tech lab sniped when it's trying to research stim, it completely changes the game. Whether or not that factors into his decision, I don't know, but
yeah. Right now, want to be cool, doing a nice little mineral walk there to escape being surrounded by those 3 SCVs. And he is going to leave the base right before that first Marine pops out. And there goes the tech lab. Looks like it could be a quick stim. Some kind of tech here, maybe just Marauder and Concussive Shell. Always a possibility. Warp gate now being researched from ONEwbc. Standard opening, 1 gas. Nothing to tell from this. He is getting a Stalker out, so it could be an aggressive 3-gate push, perhaps. 4-gate even, a possibility. And it is Marauders and Concussive Shell being researched right now for Adj. And getting the second supply depot, might be throwing down a bunker at the front as well. So not a whole lot going on right now. Looks like ONEwbc with a little bit of pressure, maybe just a light contain using a single Zealot and a Stalker. That Stalker taking out the SCV scout in the middle of the map. ONEwbc still not revealing what he's doing, but right now there's 1 warp gate. And a second gas, so we might see robotics facility coming up soon. Gonna walk up the ramp, and Zealot not doing too much, getting some good hits right now on the Marauder. But it looks like this army getting taken out. That Stalker picked off, and Adj cleaning up ONEwbc's army, taking no losses whatsoever.
Yep. Nicely done, but that was only that first Zealot and Stalker pressure. Just trying to make sure that there wasn't any really quick commands or anything way too greedy. So he should be okay with that. I mean, he did hurt that Marine and the Marauder pretty badly. Those are essentially dead units until medevacs get out.
So still not sure what ONEwbc is going to do. Still on 2 gateways. And that's pretty much it. There we go. Robotics facility, finally. He did get a sentry out in case of a counterattack, which it looks like there may be as Adj is starting to push out through the middle of the map. Stim a little less than halfway done. So he would have to wait a little bit. ONEwbc actually pushing out. Checking for anything hidden behind the grass, perhaps. Any hidden bunkers preventing an expansion here. Edge just gonna make sure these Xel'Nagas are clear and actually gonna catch these Stalkers. Still doesn't have stem. Very nice shield right there from the Sentry, and it looks like ONEwbc gonna be able to clean this up, but taking a lot of losses in the process. Units lost, both players now very, very close after this Marine goes down, 800 to 750. So pretty much equal trades from our opponents here. And interesting thing right now from Edge, we got a very quick Ghost Academy. I'm wondering if he's going to try to do some kind of aggressive push with a Ghost. Would mean this army is going to be much weaker, taking down all those shields very quickly, and can block any of the force fields from the Sentry. From ONEwbc, instead of the typical Immortal that you would see after the Observer already coming across the map, we actually have a Warp Prism.
Ooh. Don't see that very often, so maybe he's going to do some aggressive drops. Doesn't really have DT tech, which we normally see with this quick of a Warp Prism, but potentially Immortal drops? No? Gonna go for that.
Sentry Zealot.
Yeah, we saw that a couple times in the random tournament, I think.
Yeah, putting down those force fields on the edge of the mineral patches, like next to the gas, just so the SCVs can't run away. But it didn't really seem that effective when he did it.
Yeah, I personally think that attacking when your opponent has grabbed that expansion and then trying to force field the main group of his army away from his main mineral line when they're sitting in the natural is much more effective than warping in a couple more Zealots to do some economic damage, maybe pick off a few add-ons. Scan taking down the Observer, so this Warp Prism's not really going to know where to land. Looks like Combat Shield's also going to finish.
Like how ONEwbc actually escorted that Warp Prism out to the middle of the map, and now sending his Stalkers back as the Warp Prism coming across on the left side. And could be very good timing as Ash just left his base. However, he does have all of his upgrades right now. Combat Shield, Stem, and Concussive Shells all done. Looks like this Warp Prism just going to sit here and wait for its opportunity. Observer just barely missing the army flying past. And we have a Robotics Bay on the way for ONEwbc. But he really doesn't have that much out. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold this or not. Only one Sentry means a couple force fields, and I mean, if Adge is able to get that...
Well, he will have 3 force fields on that if he keeps it alive, and that'll buy him enough time to warp in a couple more. But you're right, I mean, this is a pretty large force sitting outside of his base. He doesn't have his units close enough to the ramp yet, I don't think. There he goes, moving them a little bit closer, sees them on the edge.
And there's the Ghost going for the MP. Oh. Clutch force field, making sure he could not get in there in time.
But here comes the drop in the main for for Adge. Nice force field going down. Zealots taking care of these. Oh, but nice hold position. Zealots weren't actually attacking there.
And right there, Edge pushing in with a very nice EMP, stopping the force field, and now he's inside the base, going to snipe the Colossus.
Immediately. Pulling probes here to try to deal with this EMP and all the probes, making them very, very useless in terms of even just tanking. Zealots doing a lot of damage here on the ramp, though. But way too many Marauders running in here. Pulling probes yet again, trying to warp in some more Zealots.
Even if he survived this, the damage has already been done in terms of probes. Looking at 7 probes alive. And it looks like ONEwbc may clean this up. But once again, he's left with 7 probes compared to 24 SCVs for Adge.
Yeah, that drop just not doing enough damage, but I think here it comes again.
He's going to give it a try. But Adge is ready for this. I don't think the Warp Prism's going to get away. We'll see. But no, actually, it's only 2 Marines here.
I'm just curious, what would have happened if he had those extra 2 sentries and a couple of Zealots at his main base and an Immortal instead of a Warp Prism. I think he would have been just fine. But lost that first Observer, didn't see the push coming in time, and wasn't ready for it.
Yep. A few force fields would have meant that Colossus did get out. Would have survived. But now he is going to be back on 1 Colossus. No Thermal Lance upgrade. Oh, just kidding. He did get the Thermal Lance upgrade. I'm surprised. managed to squeeze that in there. Went really tech heavy, that means.
Yep, delayed that second Colossus a little bit from potentially some of those Warp Gate units. May have made a difference. Sometimes I like to get a couple of Colossi just before I get that range upgrade, but...
So right now, Wanna Be Cool knows about this army pushing out. Adj pushing up through the left side of the map. And this time, Wanna Be Cool looks like he should be able to hold 4 sentries, as long as he doesn't get an EMP on this, and I don't think we have a ghost in this army. No, so Adj not really going to be able to prevent those force fields. Even worse, his army could get split, taken down even easier.
Yep, Wanna Be Cool has a chance to come back in it. His opponent still has yet to expand, which is kind of his saving grace. So even though the harvester count is pretty steep, his turn is up 12 harvesters. He doesn't have that expansion down, so he's not running away with the game yet.
Yeah, and it's actually really risky that he isn't. And
here
he has
comes the
enough
Warp
money
Prism
to do
again.
so. Floating 500 minerals at the moment. Looks like we had another drop. Doesn't look like it did too much, and 2 of the units picked off. Wanna Be Cool, gonna fly that Warp Prism away once again.
Blocking off a lot of those SCVs from a couple of those mineral patches, but not for very long. Wanna Be Cool pushing out to his natural a little bit, and there goes the Nexus, so he's still expanding before his turn opponent. And that Warp Prism just keeping Adj in his base.
Yeah, so this is interesting. If Adj actually does not throw down a command center very soon, he's going to be significantly behind. He's already down to only 5 mineral patches, so the income is going to start evening up very soon. The advantage he has right now, mostly because that mule is out. Mineral patches going to last a little bit longer for Wanna Be Cool in this one base.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why he hasn't expanded yet. He's going to be all in a second if he doesn't expand. And we already see that, again, like you said, those mineral patches are really draining quickly. He's on 4 racks, a starport with reactor, factory, and Ghost Academy, and there's just no way you can support that on 1 base and 2 gas.
He is pushing out though. Wanna Be Cool aware, had the observer above the army. There are the 4 Vikings there just to take down 1 Colossus that I can see. Hasn't had enough money to actually get a second Colossus. It's mostly sentries, so he's going to have to be careful, and he's going to be in a much better state this time, actually fighting at the expansion rather than fighting on that ramp. We'll see what Wanna Be Cool does to handle this. The observer still following the army.
This is a really marauder heavy army, 22 marauders here. So he's going to need to be very, very careful with how he deals with this. Already those force fields going down. I would like to see an immortal or 2 in this army just because there's so many marauders. Like I said, Colossi really good against the marine heavy army since they are so weak and squishy. But these marauders should be able to stim in here and do a lot of damage if he's not careful.
That Ghost wants to get in there, wants to do an EMP. Doesn't make it in. Actually stims his entire army. He's going to try to run around the other side. Are we going to see force fields? Very nice from Wanna Be Cool.
Oh, but there goes the EMP. Not a lot of force fields left. That Colossi does fall. He's trying to retreat back into his main. But like I said, this is a lot of units outside.
Yep, has vision of the high ground thanks to these Vikings. So even if there is a force field, Wanna Be Cool can never go too far. Another EMP. All these units very weak. One of the last force fields thrown down, and that's going to be it. It looks like Adj will be able to clean up the main. GG from Wanna Be Cool.
Yep, a little bit unlucky there. I mean, if he had held that at all, he would have been fine. Like we said, Adj just not expanding that in time. I think he was down to 1 mineral patch. So he was cutting it really close, and it's just unfortunate that that drop play kind of came at the wrong time.